after starting the Salah. So we'll say then, so after starting the Salat, he changes intention. So that which he read already will become lahu. It will become lahu, it will become batil, and we'll say as though he started in a new Salah. Now read it, see there. وَمَنْ صَلَّى رَكْعَةً مِنَ الظُّهْرِ, whoever read one rakat from Dhuhr, ثُمَّ افتتح العصر, then he started the Asr, أو التطوع, or he moved over to a nafil namaz, فقد نقض الظهر, we'll say he broke his zuhr, لأنه صح شروعه في غيره, because he's starting in another salah is correct. فيخرج عنه, so we'll say he came out of the zuhr namaz and now he started the asr salah. Read the next ibarat. ولو افتتح الظهر بعدما صلى منها أو منه. Okay, that makes more sense because Zuhur is masculine there. What manwiyu? Okay, explain to us what's happening there. ولو افتتح الظهر بعدما صلى منها ركعة فهي ويجتزئ بذلك الركعة لأن نوى الشروع في أين ما هو فيه فلغت نيته وبقي المنوي على حال ورثه. Yeah, no, he never make a. What he's saying is he was reading Zohar Namaz, right? And in his Zohar Namaz, he taught himself now he's going to restart the same Zohar Namaz, not a different Zohar Namaz, not a Qaza or anything. The same Zohar Namaz. Maybe person got doubt, shakki mizaj, did I read the Namaz correct? Or I never read the Namaz correct, whatever. So we'll say that niyat there doesn't break the Salat. That rakat that he read already will still be intact, right? See. ولو افتتح الظهر, if a person started the Dhuhr namaz بعدما صلى منها ركعة, after he read from it one rakat, فهي that will still be it will still be the Dhuhr namaz, right? ويجتزئ بتلك الركعة, and he will suffice with that rakat لأنه نوى الشروع في أين ما هو فيه, because he intended لأنه نوى الشروع to start في أين ما هو فيه. He wanted to restart that which was already in it, right? فلغت نيته, so his niyat will become batil or invalid, right? وبقي المنوي على حاله, and this what he intended وبقي على حال, it will remain as a Zohar namaz. We won't say now, if you read one rakat now and he's restarting, although he never, as long as you never do commit any of the breakers of Salah, as long as you never commit any of the breakers of Salah, so we'll say that first rakat that he done as a Zohar, it is still valid, it is not invalid, right? So, is it there in there? And possibly if it is written there, then it will be like that then. Okay, perfect. So you made takbir. Okay, perfect. That's Jazakallah for that. So if he raised his hand, it will be Amr Kathir. But he never raised his hands. He just continued as he was, it will be fine, right? That first rakat will still be valid. It still will be the Zohar Salah. I'll read the next one. Oh, this is an important masla here that every year we get this one, Ramadan time, right? Okay, before we look at the masla, I want to tell you there's two things here. One is I told you yesterday about at-talaqi anil ghayr, to take from somebody who is out of salah. That's one thing, right? Like I told you, somebody is not in salah, you take correction from them, right? It is talaqi anil akhar. talaqi anil ghayr, right? And then the other thing is this here, holding the Quran in your hand, which is amal kathir, which is holding the Quran, turning the pages. So generally, we say that the reading from the Mus'haf is not permissible because of two things, two reasons. One is like, in the Taraweeh, etc., etc. One is talaqi anil ghayr, taking assistance from somebody that's not in Salah, and here the Quran is not in Salah. That's the first thing. And the second thing was this here, that is amal kathir, you're standing with the Quran in your hands and you turning the pages, etc. Right? So I remember we was what I used to do one place when we were small. They had another small boy standing next to him with the Quran like this here. So he look inside, but when he wants to turn the page, he just nudged the guy like that. So the guy turns the page. Now, if you look at it, that is not amal kathir, but just nudging him, right? But remember, we told you there's two reasons here why it's not permissible. One is amal kathir, and one is talaqi anil ghayr, to take from besides the Quran, right? They read the Bismillah. Right, first thing, وإذا قرأ الإمام من المصحف, when the Imam reads from the Mus'haf, right? فسدت صلاته in Abi Hanifa, his salat will become fasted according to Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, right? So Sahih said, no, him looking into the Mus'haf just like that day, right? Not a problem. وقال هي تامة, say no, the salah is complete, right? Yeah, because they say, look here, isn't to look at the Quran and read the Quran, to make tilawat from the Quran, etc. Isn't that an ibadat? Yes, it's an ibadat. So you're just joining and you're merging between two ibadats. You're merging between the ibadat of looking at the Quran and reading from the Quran, and you're merging between the ibadat of what? Of salah. لأنه, if you say ibadatun as ibadat, indafat ila ibadatin, which is joining to another ibadat, right? So this is the opinion of the Sahibain. So they say it's correct. Salah will not break, etc. But إلا أنه يكره. It is makruh. Why? لأنه يشبه بصنع أهل الكتاب, because it resembles the act of the Ahl Kitab. Because the Ahl Kitab, they look, when they do their prayers, maybe they have their Bible in their hand and they say their prayers from their Bible, right? Right. ولأبي حنيفة, Imam Abu Hanifa says, أن حمل المصحف, the carry of the Mus'haf, والنظر, so one is you hold the Mus'haf, then to look into it, فيه, وتقليب الأوراق, and turning the pages, عمل كثير, it is عمل كثير, right? If you remember, we haven't done this as yet, but we'll do it, so maybe it will come later. One is called عمل صغير, and one is called عمل كثير. عمل كثير is that, which literally translate as a big act or a lot of action, which will nullify the salah, right? So that is one reason why Imam Hanifa said it is not correct, because that the holding of the Quran, the turning of the pages, the looking in, etc., etc. And one definition of Amr Kathir is, when you look at a person, you won't think they're in salah. This is a preferred explanation of what is Amr Kathir. When you look at a person, you won't think he's in salah. So you see a person looking in the Quran, reading from the Quran, turning the pages, etc. You won't think that that person is in salah, right? So, أن حمل المصحف والنظر فيه وتقليب الأوراق عمل كثير. This is عمل كثير, right? Carry on. Yeah. ولأنه تلقن. It's a معزي, right? وتلقن. Okay, that also makes sense. You make it a masdar. وَلِأَنَّهُ تَلَقُّلٌ مِنَ الْمُصْحَفِ, because you are taking You are receiving from the Mus'haf. فَصَارَ كَمَا إِذَا تَلَقَّنَا مِنْ غَيْرِهِ. So it is like you're taking from a person out of Salah. Like maybe we discussed this masla yesterday. If the Imam is corrected by somebody that is out of the Salah, he say it will affect his Salah because it is talaqqun anil ghayr. So two reasons here why Imam Hanifa is saying it's not correct. One is talaqqun anil ghayr, and one is because it is amal kathir, right? Yeah. So if you look at this last opinion here, so there's two illets, right? If you look at the last illet, we said that the main reason why, or one of the reasons is because you are taking from somebody out of Salah. You are taking from somebody out of Salah, right? So whether he's carrying it in his hands or he got it on a bench or something, it doesn't make a difference. So if you put, like I told you now, there's people, they had a small boy standing next to him with the Quran, and whenever they wanted him to go to the next place, they would nudge him. So you say, okay, but that's not Amal Kathir. So suppose we find, we tell you, look, there are two illets. Amal Kathir is only one of the illets. What is the other illet? The other illet is what? At-talaqqun al-ghayr. So he's saying, وَعَلَى هَذَا, based upon this, that taking from somebody out of Salah is also a illat. وَعَلَى هَذَا لَا فَرْقَ بَيْنَ الْمَحْمُولِ وَالْمَوْضُوعِ. There is no difference between al-mahmul, that which is carried, wal-mawdu', and that which is placed down, right? وَعَلَى الْأَوَّلِ, but if you look at the first, if you only look at the first illat, which is that there's amal kathir in it, right? There, then it's different, because there, when you put it on a bench or like how you have a raised platform, then there, according to those people that say that amal kathir is the only reason, according to them, it won't be permissible. But those who say that the illat is two. One is because it is amal kathir, and one is because what? It is also talaqqun al-ghayr, then there's no difference, right? But those who say that, they say, wal awwali yaftariqani, and based on the first one, wal awwali, the two are different. You understood that? Wal awwali, the two are different, because if it was on a bench, then those who say that the main reason amal kathir, they say it's fine, because there's no amal kathir, right? Okay, read the next one. It's an interesting one this year. Yeah. So, nowadays, like, you get people, they wear jackets, they've got writing on, or they got clothes, they got writing on, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, and all that type of thing. So if you look at that person and you understand what is written there, but you don't mouth the words, you look, you understand, but you don't mouth the words, then there, according to all the ulama, the salah will be okay. وَلَوْ نَظَرَ إِلَى مَكْتُوبٍ, if he looked at something that was written, وَفَهِمَهُ, and he understood it, فَالصَّحِيحُ أَنَّهُ لَا تَفْسُدُ صَلَاتُهُ بِالْإِجْمَاعِ. The preferred opinion is that the salat will not become fasid, it's bil-ijma', according to all the Hanafi ulama, right? Carry on, Yusuf, read from there. Yeah, so saying, yeah, you have to mouth the words first before you say your salat become batil. But if, for example, somebody wrote a book, right, and I said, Wallahi, I will never read this person's book. Wallahi, I will never read this person's book. But I opened a book and I looked at it, and I understood what was there without mouthing it. I understood what was in there without mouthing it. There we'll say this person is Hanis, is guilty of breaking his oath. Why? Because the purpose of reading is to understand. The purpose of reading, and here when this person, he looked at it, he understood what was saying. So there he will become Hanis. There he will become Hanis. See. بخلاف ما إذا أحلف, contrary to a person to get out, لا يقرأ كتاب فلان, he will not read the book of his so person, حيث حنث بالفهم, to such extent he become Hanis by understanding. إن محمد رحمه الله تعالى according to Muhammad. Why? لأن المقصود هناك الفهم. Because when you say, Wallahi, I won't read a person's book, what it means? You're trying to say, I won't benefit from his book, right? لأن المقصود هناك الفهم. أما فساد الصلاة, as far as the Salah will be right. So where you looked at somebody's jacket or somebody's trouser or whatever, and you understood what is being said there the salat will not become fasid. Why? Because there the main maqsad is not about understanding or benefiting from the writing. The other thing is about amal kathir. So when you just look and you understood what is being said, so there was no amal kathir that you understood that. Right. So amma fasad salati. So as for salat, the corruption of salat, فبالعمل الكثير, it will happen when there's amal kathir. ولم يوجد, but there was no amal kathir. There was no amal kathir, so the salah will not become fasid, right? Just stop you and carry on the other one. Okay, read the next one. Yeah. وإن مرت امرأة بين يدي المصلي لم يقطع الصلاة. So if a person is reading Salah, this could possibly maybe happen in the Haramain Sharifain, and a woman passes in front of you, according to the Hanafi madhab, it will not affect your Salah, will not break your Salah. That Masaf Muhazat is separate that we discussed. Ne? So وإن مرت امرأة بين يدي المصلي لم يقطع الصلاة لقول الصلاة, because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said لا يقطع الصلاة مرور شيء إلا أن المار آثم. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that لا يقطع الصلاة مرور شيء, the passing of anything will not break the salah إلا أن المار آثم, except that the person who passes in front is a sinner. He is not supposed to pass, right? Carry on.
قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم لو علم المحرم بين يدي المصلي هذا عليه.
Yeah. Why? So why is this sinner? Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, لو يعلم المار, the person who passes, he knows, right? لو يعلم المار لو يعلم المار بين يدي المصلي, that person who passes in front of the Musalli knows ماذا عليه من الوزر, what is upon him from the sin. لوقف أربعين, he will stand and wait there for 40 years because of the magnanimity of the sun, right? Yeah. So what is the definition of passing in front of a person? Okay, yeah, they don't have too much detail in the kitab, but I'll give you the detail from my side. If you are in a masjid kabir, and ulama, there's also a difference of opinion. What is a masjid kabir? A masjid kabir, ulama says 40 by 40. Then you so long as you don't pass directly in front of the person in his place of sajda. But if it's a masjid saghir, like this here maybe, then you can't pass in front of him even beyond the place of his sajda. Even if it's like 3-4 musallas, unless there's a sutra there, you understood that? So وإنما يأثم إذا مر في موضع سجوده على ما قيل, you will only become a sinful if you pass في موضع سجوده, in the place of the sajda upon what has been said, right? ولا يكون بينهما حائل, and there isn't a sutra, like a barrier between them two, right? ويحاذي أعضاء المار أعضاءه, and also in order for him to be sinful, the limbs of the mar must pass by the limbs of the musalli, right? It's not just coming in line with him or standing in front, must go past, right? Right? لو كان يصلي على الدكان, even if a person is reading on a high place, he's reading on a raised platform, and still somebody passes in front of him, still he will be a sinner. Okay, we stop there, inshallah. We will continue tomorrow. May Allah Ta'ala accept it. May Allah Ta'ala make it a means of shifa. May Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq to practice. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Just bring my phone in that day.